sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born!
Want candy now?
What is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again today for another episode for Dragon Ball Legends. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Happy Waifu Day. Of course, coming from Japan, we are getting the Waifu Girls Rising Girls, however you want to call it. Let's see here. We can check it out. But we have this new banner here, the Rising Girls, which is going to significantly enhance the presence of the female warriors in Dragon Ball Legends. We're already looking at a reasonably good team between Kale Caulifla and Mai/Android 18. But with these additions to the game, specifically Videl, I'm thinking, for offensive capabilities anyway, I believe Videl is going to be your best damage dealer on this banner. But we do have this addition of the Lady Powerhouse to the game. So we're going to jump in, check out all these units here, maybe make like 2,000 crystals worth of summons, and that'll be today's video, you guys. We definitely want to review these characters, even though they're not as hype and some people may be upset. You have to understand that banners like this prolong the life of the game. Obviously, if they rush through all of the good characters, just banner after banner, not only will free-to-play players be missing out on tons of units, but at the same time, they will burn through all the cool units in the game, and then we'll be left with nothing but weird crossover events like Heroes and Fighter Z and stuff like that. So, I'm not upset by this banner at all. Again, coming from a game called Final Fantasy Record Keepers that I played before this for over 3 years, we want this game to have a very long lifespan, and they can't just rush out all of the amazing characters, because again, then they'll have nothing left but then to release more powerful versions of the same characters and another weird quirky stuff, you guys. So I'm all for more viable metas in this game, including Lady Power. It will get even stronger when Majin 21 shows up, and Ribrianne and Kefla, so there's nothing wrong with getting these foundations in now, you guys. I'm not upset at all, and again, I've said this many times, but I am a long-haul gamer for this game. You will be seeing me playing this for years to come, provided there's not some epic failure, and I'm not going to fizzle out like a lot of other content creators might, a lot of other high-tier players that burn themselves out. So, we're going to jump in. We've wasted enough time, 2 minutes, 41 seconds, talking about that. Let's hop in here and check out the new characters. So, the first one on the banner, the one that's most appealing to me, is the Bulma unit. However, she does have some drawbacks. I love the fact that she's got an Uzi. I love the fact that she's got an RPG. And an ultimate arts technique that cancels all enemy buffs. All good things for her. However, again, one of her main drawbacks is she carries 2 yellow cards to battle. So we love that crotch shot into laser blast ultimate arts technique. Let's hop into the stats here. We are looking at a character who's a support type. Understandable, it's Bulma. 68,000 and 78,000 blast attack. So her Uzi shots are not going to be awful, you guys. They're not super high on the damage scale spectrum, but they're high enough where she's going to be viable. But this right here, you guys, this is the main drawback of this Bulma using her in battle, is the double yellow cards. That is unfortunate, because double yellow cards just slows down your whole progression throughout the battle in terms of building Rising Rush, and for doing strike-focused damage, which is the fastest way to deal damage and win the fights. Usually, Blast Arts cards are used to bait out, dodges and vanishes, and then you can combo people, and, I'm not going to say Blast Arts are terrible, but it's a slower progression through the battle. Winning with Blast Arts heavy characters is much more difficult than a more strike heavy team in most cases. So of course we have Pierce and Pierce on her strike and blast because they're bullets. That's kind of the logistics behind that. Rocket launcher deals major explode damage, nothing else noteworthy on there, which is kind of a setback compared to most other characters in the game. Most other characters will feature a buff or debuff of some type on their blue card, so Bulma is missing out there. This ability, however, is what makes this character. Her green card, the Dragon Radar, ignores allies' substitution count and immediately switches characters. 15% to the allies' inflicted damage for 20 timer counts, and 1 Dragon Ball upon activation. You will basically want to be using Bulma in conjunction with this green card to just out-vanish your opponent, out-swap your opponent, out-type advantage your opponent, and just beat the brakes off of them. Then be swapping back and forth between characters. Of course, again, buff damage. It's really going to take your Vanish game to the next level. That's how Bulma really supports the team there. There's some other stuff too, though. So we have the Unexpected Hold, because unexpected, it's the crotch to the face, I guess. Major impact damage and cancels enemy attribute upgrades and buff effects on hit. Very similar to Super Saiyan God Goku's blue card, in the sense that you can only use it once and it'll cancel debuffs. So you want to strategically plan this move out to use against highly buffed Final Form Coolers, Final Form Friezas, your Super Saiyan Broly, your Super Saiyan Bardock, Gogeta, stuff like that. When they have a lot of buffs applied on them, that's when this is going to be the most effective here. Your abilities here, main ability, draw the Ultimate Arts technique. Nothing surprising there. However, she does get another amazing buff. This one's literally amazing, having an Ultimate Arts and a 20% heal to all female warriors characters on the team. Only 10% if they're male warriors, but if they are females, they'll get a 20% heal across the board. Probably the best Ultimate Arts main ability in the game is this one right here, just because of its utility. I'm not going to say it's literally the best in terms of damage or anything like that, but in terms of support with an Ultimate Arts, this one definitely takes the cake. Having the 20% heal to the whole team and you get the Ultimate Arts is clutch, which again will cancel all buffs for the character that it hits. So Z ability here, 20% to female warrior based blast attack. She comes with 2 blast cards. She's blast focused. That makes sense. It'll help out Kale, but that's about it. So she's really only helping Kale with this one here. Girl Genius shortens own substitution count by 2 as default, so she can just swap back in faster than any other character in the game. And then assist female warrior inflicted damage up 50% to damage inflicted by allied tag female warrior for 10 timer counts when this character is switched to standby. Exceptional buff right there. Passives here, it will really help out Kale, because Kale again is more blast focused. So you're playing Bulma with Kale. This will really help out. But it honestly, it helps out Khalifa. It helps out all of the female warriors. So that's a great supportive ability right there. Again, I really like Bulma. I think Videl is probably the best damage dealer on the banner, but I do think Bulma is a great support unit for the female warriors team. And if at 5 stars, she's an amazing bench unit, even if you don't bring her to battle. Alright. So moving forward, we have Chi-Chi here, the more kind of adult teenage version of Chi-Chi. So she's, you know, probably like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 right here maybe. Definitely not the kid form, but kind of a basic kick combo on the blue arts card there. The Ultimate Arts, however, she pulls out the Bancho fan and does some crazy whirlwind mechanics here, which is honestly, it's fairly cool. At first glance, I honestly thought that was a guitar that she was hitting them with, but after I watched it like 2 times, I'm like, alright, that's like a traditional fan there. So let's jump in here, check out her stats. So we are looking at her as a melee type. However, and I find this extremely curious, this is the only time that I've noticed this happen in the game to this date. She's a melee character, but her base blast attack is almost 1,000 higher than her strike attack. My mind is blown there. That's really curious as to why they did that. Her critical rate is almost 3,000, so that's great. Key restore is great as well. I honestly didn't even look at either of those 2 stats for Bulma. And she brings 1 red, 1 yellow. For a melee type, we'd like to see 2 reds, especially because Bulma brings yellow. 2 reds would help balance that out a lot, but this is what we get. At least we get red. And honestly, I think Bulma should have a yellow and a green. Like, why didn't do that like Ginyu for the female warriors team? I have no idea. That's what Bulma should have had, yellow, green. Anyways, Moving forward, Strike, Impact, Blast, Bleed. So she can do 50% chance to inflict bleed on her blast attacks. Again, very interesting for a melee character to have buffed effects on their yellow cards, their blast attacks. So that's interesting. Dragon Attack deals major impact damage, inflicts enemy with a tribute downgrade 10% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Again, this is a debuff the enemy can swap out of, so it's most effective when you're down to the last character, or if you can lock them in somewhere. But of course, the Female Warriors team doesn't have any lock-in mechanics as of yet, so you're probably not going to be able to bank on that. So again, most effective if you can somehow force the character to not be able to swap. Generally, it's the last character left alive. Cut It Out, green card, plus 15% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. A little bit weaker of a buff compared to what we've normally seen for the first part, but it also inflicts force switching on hit. And if the enemy is a San family, so that would be Goku, Goten, or Gohan, you will also inflict a tribute downgrade plus 5 to substitution count for 15 timer counts. So you get a little bit less to your damage buff. Like normally we see 20% to damage buffs on green cards as kind of like a baseline number, but you get reduced that 5% for the forced sub out, which we've seen with Broly, we've seen with other characters. This does have some viability in battle. We do have to see, however, if this green card with Chi-Chi beats out Rising Rush. So you see with Broly's green card, you can cancel Rising Rush with that if you time it really well. So does Chi-Chi have the same ability? We will have to find out. Whirlwind Impact, major slice damage, 20% chance to faint. So only a 1 in 5 chance to faint your enemy is relatively low. It's kind of like what we were seeing with like Pycon, I think, back in the early days of the game. I don't know if his was 20 or 25%. I think it's 20, but I could be wrong there. It's just, you can't really bank on this feint. You're only looking at a 1 in 5 chance of getting it off. Main ability, of course, draw the Ultimate Arts technique, and it nullifies own unfavorable elemental factors for 15 timer counts. This is pretty clutch because Chi-Chi is a green character. Green characters are massively overpowered in the meta right now, just between Super Saiyan Broly, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Janemba, Caulifla. Green has some really powerful matchups that it is really scared of. So the fact that she's got that kind of blue Piccolo slash the Super Saiyan Broly passive there that she can activate definitely adds a lot of value to her, and it'll help her with a lot of the bad matchups that you may run up against if you're using her in an active slot. Z ability, Strike, Defense, not so great. However, if you do get her to 5 stars, Strike, Attack, and Defense, that's invaluable right there. Again, it does kind of encourage people to spend money or to be patient, you guys. I'm pretty confident that if you are a long haul player like myself, you will almost certainly get all of these units to 5 stars in due time. There's a little bit of a wait. We have to be patient, but it will happen. And that's when Chi-Chi becomes really valuable. She'll help out Caulifla a lot with that Z ability right there. Passive, Charged Ki Wave. When this character enters the battlefield, restore own ki by 50. The following effects will also occur if you're pairing her with another female warrior. She'll get an additional 30% to own ki recovery for 15 timer counts, and 20% to blast damage for 15 timer counts. Again, she's a melee character, so these blast damage buffs are not optimal, but it'll help you do more damage and bleed your enemy, I guess? I don't know. I don't really understand that. If anything, it helps even her out a little bit, but why is she a melee type if most all of her stuff is focused around blast? Maybe she should be classified as a range type, Dimps. Maybe that was a misnomer right there, but whatever. She's more of like balanced type between blast and strike, I guess. The universe's strongest wife, plus 80% to damage inflicted against tagged San family at all times, always, with no conditions. That is absurdly good. Even against Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the future, she's going to get almost 100% bonus damage, 80%. She's always going to be doing damage to Goku, Gohan, and Goten, you guys. However, it probably will not apply to characters like Vegito and Gogeta. So just keep that in mind. However, she'll always be a great anti-San family character. Even if they're purple, that surpasses the 50% cut that a purple unit would get. So against like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, she's still going to be doing a bonus 30% damage against him because of this passive. So just keep that in mind, you guys. It's pretty major right there. Super Saiyan Broly, no dice. But any Goku character, you're good to go. Alright, lastly, on the new sparking units here, we do have Videl. She is more of a basic unit. She strikes me kind of like the green tail-swinging Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga because, again, she's no ultimate arts. There's nothing super technical you have to worry about her, like with Bulma, and even with Chi-Chi, she's got some weird technical stuff going on. But you don't have to worry about really any of that with Videl here. She's just, boom, strike damage. That's all you got to worry about. Of course, 80,000 strike attack. That's not bad at all. 71k blast attack. And 2 red cards. So, in my head, I picture a team of like Caulifla, Videl, and whoever else. Chi-Chi you could sub in. You could do the yellow or the blue Android 18. You'd have a great strike damage focused female warriors team. So that's pretty good right there. We're looking at like the best in terms of this status side of the kit. The Videl has the best in terms of the stats and the status. Strike attack and blast both impact, nothing special. You have the Eagle Kick, major impact damage, 10% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation. Additional 15% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts if your health is 50% or below. Out of all the female warriors, she's going to have the best buff on the blue card right here. It doesn't matter, it's not applied to an enemy character, therefore it can't be swapped out of. It's just a buff to Videl with double the effect if she's less than half health. So, best blue card out of the new characters right here, Videl. Green card, alright, we got this. 20% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Again, this is what I had mentioned earlier. This is kind of the baseline, what we're seeing in terms of buffs on green cards, unless they have some type of crazy additional effect, which she does here. Additional 15% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts if health is 50% or below. So she'll be doing 35% if she's less than half health. So very easy to stack buffs on this Videl for strike damage here. Main ability, 35% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, -5 to the red card cost for 15, and a health restore by 30%. So you have to be wary about using this because it may take you out of that below 50% threshold to get the extra damage buffs. But Videl is shaping up again to be a very easy character to use, a very easy character to buff stack with. So there's nothing wrong with that. Z ability here, 20% to base strike defense. Again, it is lacking, but she gets strike and blast defense when you upgrade her to 5-star. So she is the defensive Z ability buffer, which is not as good. However, it will help your characters survive longer, so it's not terrible. It's just I typically prefer offensive buffs, but when building this team, this is still valuable on the bench right there, because right now, with the current state of the female warriors PvP I showed off yesterday, they can definitely be taking a little bit of a beating. Defense is one of their weaknesses. Unique ability Girl Talk. When this character enters the battlefield, 30% to strike damage inflicted if you have another female warrior on your team. Additional 20% to strike damage inflicted if health is 50% or below. Again, combining this with the main ability and the green cards, it's very easy to see Videl in a situation where she has over 100% or right around 100% buff to her strike damage, which makes her probably the female warriors. She's tied with Caulifla. Like, her and Caulifla are amazing strike damage dealers. You honestly want to pair those two together with a third character, and that is going to be your best viable team for female warriors. A Pure Maiden's Heart, 50% to strike damage inflicted when 2 allies are defeated, plus 20% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts whenever Videl matches up against Gohan. So another 50% to strike damage if she is your anchor character, your last character left alive. Again, if you wait for that situation, combo a green with the main, you're below 50% health, you will easily be over 100% bonus to your strike damage. You will be beating Super Saiyan Broly to a pulp with Videl under those circumstances, which would be absolutely hilarious to see, you guys. That is all of the new units. They are also, unfortunately, recycling 18 and Pan, 2 of the oldest female warriors. I mean, I can kind of understand that. for newer players, but that's extremely painful for us veteran players who've been around for a while, because I have Pan at 6 stars and 18 at 5 stars already. So those are both definite avoidances right there. There also is a new EX Mai, which we didn't really look at. She's got the head tap going on. I don't have the Sparking Mai, and I have Khalifa though, which is purple. I have a feeling that she is just a watered down version of the Sparking Mai. Inflicted damage. She is, again, a support type. She is just kind of a watered down version of the Sparking Mai. Buffs blast attack. And yeah. So we can just kind of quickly breeze through her there. You guys could check that out. Just, I'm sure you can see it in your own game. But again, just a watered down version of the Sparking Mai. I like her card art though. Let's do about 2,000 Chrono Crystals and summons on this banner, you guys. And then after the 2,000, we can run through the dailies. We'll see what happens. But I'm not really expecting a whole lot. I just hope that you guys have had amazing luck and gotten whatever you've been needing recently. I hope the game hasn't been treating you poorly. But of course, let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. We did get the red sky, but just blue text. Nothing else super special going on here. I honestly wouldn't mind the EX Mai if that's all we're looking at here, because it seems like that's all we're looking at is an EX card. Another Hero Thouser. He's been added to the pool. A bunch of heroes. Here's our EX. We didn't get the new Mai. That's depressing. That EX Vegeta is quite old, and I have him very highly starred already. So, we got kind of a dead multi there, you guys. We're going to hop in with one more. I'm not going to go too crazy on this banner. We'll see how the daily summons go. And female warriors is not a huge investment for me personally. Again, we are kind of at the point in the game where it's, do you need this or do you want this? The roster's getting big enough where you have enough options to where you don't really need to summon on every banner. Like, free-to-play players and budget players probably can skip this one. If you're a really big fan of female warriors, have at it, or at least keep up with the dailies. But I think this is more of a luxury banner, not a necessity banner, and a lot of people will probably agree with the fact that these characters aren't ultra hype, and you may want to save your crystals for something like Rose, Vegito, more Buu Saga stuff, GT stuff, Super stuff, you know. But it is what it is, you guys. Again, they have to do this to pace the game out a little bit. That multi was completely dead right there. And again, that's about all that I'm comfortable investing in this banner, you guys. You do get the 999 bonus if you summon them now. But again, I'm a budget player. I don't have a lot of money to throw around. So, it is what it is. We got Hero Yamcha off the daily there. So, no female love for me for Valentine's Day. It's pretty accurate to real life as well. Valentine's Day, not really my holiday, you guys. So, whatever, we'll go with it. Hopefully we get a lucky daily here. We'll be closing out the video. Again, down in the comments, let me know how you guys' luck was. I'd love to hear. Did you get the shaft? Did you get what you wanted? Did you spend? Are you saving? Free to play? Premium? Let me know. I'd love to hear it down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider leaving me a thumbs up. Help spread it out on YouTube so more people can get the information. And that's about it, you guys. If you liked the video, I appreciate you for helping spread it out. If you're new here, I'd love to see you again on future videos. So consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. And let's finish up with this last summon here. And that will be it, you guys. Looks like we got the shaft. The old EX Vegeta, old EX Krillin. Don't want to waste any more time on this. Oh, we got a Transformer on Masters Pack. Another Goten. That's bad, you guys. That's bad. I needed Trunks or any other unit besides Goten. He's already 5 stars for me. Oh well. We got a Sparking on skip luck, but that's not the luck we needed, you guys. Definitely not. I may hit this banner again, but it's probably doubtful. We'll probably stick with only the dailies, you guys. And that's about it. Hopefully you guys had amazing luck. Let me know what you're thinking down below, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out, you guys. Have a great weekend.